With Ohio's deer season creeping up and trail cam inventory pouring in, I began to put a hit list together. Bucks ranking accordingly into size, age, previous history, and huntability. This video isn't about my number 1 spot on my hit list, but the fight for number 2. An 8.5-year-old deer I called Wacky claimed the spot rolling into the season. He was a local legend on our farm and has been since 2016. On November 6th, I received a call that Wacky was shot by a family friend, and throughout the tracking job, it was a bittersweet moment as I was finally able to put my hands on him and get closure. My number 3 buck moved up to number 2 and became more of a target as my number 1 buck became less active. Lefty, my number 2 buck, was a 5.5-year-old 8-point I have 2 prior years history with. While hunting Lefty, I caught wind that a guy on the neighboring property had harvested him on November 16th. Been after this real big typical 10-point that's been running around this area. It wasn't long before my number 2 spot was filled once again, but this time by a deer I have no previous history with, a deer that had just showed up a week prior and just started becoming more daylight active. I hunted him for 2 weeks as my number 1 buck was missing. I had multiple encounters throughout November, but never could seal a deal with a bow. And he got out in the hayfield behind me and caught my wind. Gun season rolled around, and on December 4th, my grandfather shot number 2.
I've been hunting all week. He smoked him. I'm almost positive it's that big one that I've seen a couple times in November, so I'm pumped for him. That's freaking awesome.
The joy I felt from seeing the smile on my grandfather's face well exceeded what I would have felt if I would have shot him. Who's in my number 2 spot now, you might ask? A 5.5-year-old buck we call White 8, and the man that got me into my biggest addiction is in the hot seat, my dad.
Let's do it.